Hello and welcome. My name is Eve Collin Tony. I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I am joined today by my dear friend, Bill Paravano, who is known as the knee pain guru. I absolutely love the work that Bill has been doing for the last several decades. He's been helping people get out of pain, and when it comes to knee pain, he really is the premier expert. So I'm so happy to be talking with him today. Bill, oh my goodness, I know with all of your years of experience, I think you've probably seen everything, right?
I'm sure there's things out there that I haven't seen, but I've seen quite a bit.
Right. Now tell me, when people are coming to see you, I know that they've usually just run the gamut. I mean, they've probably tried absolutely everything. I mean, tell me a little bit, when they actually show up to start working with you, what does that normally look like?
Well, honestly, that is one of the famous quotes I've tried everything and nothing's worked. And uh, of course, I'm thinking in the back of my head, well, you haven't tried this. You haven't tried what I offer. And many times, what they're running into is this medical model that is all male driven, and I see it more not in, it's always pushing. You got to strengthen the legs. You got to get the surgery. You got to do the drugs. You got to whatever it is. It's all very push, 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 push. And what ends up happening is it ignores what's going on in the knee and in the body because the knee doesn't happen in a vacuum. There are other dynamics that are going on in the knee and in the body that created the knee. So there's tension patterns. For instance, I got into this because I dislocated my left knee 4 times.
Oof.
Tore the ligament in my left knee, tore 2 pieces of meniscus, had the surgery, had the physical therapy. But what never was asked and what never was connected was the ankle sprain that I had when I was 10 or 11 years old that
Mm.
caused me to compensate in a certain way. So when my injuries were happening, they were all happening in the left knee.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it,
That must
that
have been excruciating too, to keep going through that pattern over and over again.
well, it shows up in different ways, and this is what's interesting is the knee happened when I was in my late 20s. And I had a lot of injuries between 10 or 11 and my late 20s that were all the way I was walking as a result of the ankle injury when I was 10 or 11. And most people don't connect these dots. They
Right.
look at the knee in isolation, trying to address the knee in isolation. So they're leaving a lot on the table, and there's not a deep enough understanding when you're just going into physical therapy and it's like, we got to strengthen the leg. Or if the physical therapy is so painful and the doctor prescribes painkillers so you can actually make it through physical therapy, you end up being on this hamster wheel that the
Right.
situation doesn't get any better.
Right. And all the while they're suffering. I mean, everybody that's dealing with this, it's limiting their mobility, it's limiting their quality of life. I mean, um,
Well, they miss out on life a lot of times because they're always thinking about their knees.
yeah.
They can't enjoy physical activities, can't go to the gym, they can't run, um, play sports.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably the biggest thing, and this was just, we could probably get into this later, but a friend of mine who came, got fitted for a brace, a knee brace recently, he was in tears because his son is turning 9 this year. So now his son is starting to be able to really engage with his
Right.
dad, my friend.
Right.
And my friend couldn't do it because he couldn't walk right. He couldn't
Yeah.
get down on the ground. He couldn't stand up. So there was a lot of
Lots
emotion
of pain.
around being a dad in
Yeah.
how we stand in the world as a man or a woman
Yeah.
is or how we show up in the world as a man or a woman is directly related to our ability to stand.
Right. And like you just said there, the lost time and the emotions from finally being able to get through it. you mentioned the knee brace in there, but here's what I think is so interesting because, just from the work that I know that you do and from what you've told me over the years, it's like the medical model where they go through this and they go through this, and here's the surgery, here's the physical therapy, here's the painkillers, here's the, shots. And ultimately, they usually wind up in some kind of knee brace. And I remember you telling me that this was just
Mhm.
it's not only is it not the solution, it's really kind of an obstacle to them actually getting better, right?
Yeah. Truth be told, when I blew out my knee the last time, I did it 4 times. I dislocated my left knee 4 times. The last time I was playing softball. And when I was playing softball, I had a knee brace on.
Oh my
One of
goodness.
the neoprene knee braces that gave support to the knee, warm up the knee, all that kind of stuff. And when I threw the ball to first base and twisted the way I did is throwing the ball from the shortstop position, uh, the knee popped and
Wow.
it completely gave way because there was nothing holding the bones in that rotational pattern together anymore.
So tell me, what is the challenge with most of these knee braces, and how is this actually creating a problem? And then bigger bigger question here, which I know we're gonna get into, is what is the solution that you've found to all of this? Because
Sure.
I know it's something pretty profound.
Yeah. Well, the first thing, just that example when I was throwing the first base, is a knee brace gave me a false sense of security.
Mm,
It was like, oh, well, I got a knee brace on. I could test the knee out the best I can. And well, that wasn't the case.
mm,
And just to be specific, it was one of those neoprene kind of, it real hot, your leg
mm,
sweats, so the brace slips.
mm.
That's one of the other things is the braces, that neoprene brace didn't stay on my leg. It would slide down. So you're always down there kind of reaching down and pulling the brace up, which poses another issue, which is skin irritation. Because
Mhm.
you got the heat, you're sweating real bad. You get these, they're kind of like not blood blisters, but okay, back in high school when you got hickeys, it's kind of like it's kind of like a hickey behind the knee because it pinches the skin.
Right.
So it's like this little hickey kind of thing that's going on behind the knee. So you got the
Love.
knee brace that's sliding down. You're pulling it back up. It's real hot and uncomfortable.
Right.
It's pinching the skin and back of the knee, causing the blood to kind of be like right underneath the surface. And it's just uncomfortable. Uh, at least that type of brace is extremely uncomfortable.
Right. I've seen some that are so large and bulky that, I mean, it looks like a torture device
Yeah.
almost.
Well, that was the second type of brace I had.
Mhm.
So after dislocating my left knee 4 times, I finally went to the doctor. The doctor did what is called a Lachman's test, Lachman test. And that test to check for the integrity of the ligaments in the knee. And they, twist and push the knee from side to side with the ankle. And, Dr. Ellis from the University of Louisville sports teams put my leg down after doing the test, and he goes, Bill, we could do an MRI, but it'd be a waste of time. You tore the ligament in your left knee. Okay. Um, so I did the surgery. I did the physical therapy, like everything the medical model had to offer. And at the end of the 3 month period of time, Dr. Ellis said, Bill, if you get your left leg, which is the one I injured, within 80% of the strength of the right, I'll release you, meaning you don't have to go to physical therapy anymore. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. That was my goal, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I did. My left leg responded. I got my left leg nearly as strong as my right leg and went back to Dr. Ellis to get the green light. And he goes, okay, now you got to get fitted for one of those big monstrosity braces, which is it's the Donjoy. It's a brand of brace, but
Mhm.
all the brace does is limit the range of motion in the knee. So you have this big bulky brace. At that time in my life, I was heavily involved in judo,
Hmm.
martial arts. And all I wanted to do with my entire surgery, physical therapy was to get back to judo. I
Hmm.
was like really kicking myself because I injured it in activities that had nothing to do with judo.
Right.
I really didn't care about those other things. I really cared about judo.
Hmm.
So my main focus was get back to judo. So now I have this Donjoy, big Donjoy brace that is custom molded to my leg, but it still slipped. It's still, and it was like I couldn't really do judo. I could go back out on the mat. I couldn't really do judo because this was like having a weapon on my leg.
Right.
So I couldn't engage in activities where I was trying to throw somebody or grapple on the ground or whatever that was. So it was kind of a nightmare as far as that went.
Mhm.
And after wearing it a few times, it just seemed like a waste of time because the brace would slip down and it was uncomfortable. And there was just a lot of elements of it that didn't work.
Right, right, right. Now, fast forward, I know
Hmm.
your coaching program really teaching people what they need to do to heal their knee and to have the transformation that they're looking for and get back to being able to live life without being in pain and to have a functional knee. I know your program has been incredible, but I also know that there was one little catch, and that was when people are in pain, when they come to you, oftentimes it can be a little challenging to engage in the full capacity with their healing regimen. But you discovered something I think that really bridges that gap and gets them out of pain so that they can really engage in their healing process. Yeah?
Yes. And I think there's a half a step before this conversation that I'd like to bring in. And one,
Yeah,
you
tell me.
presented you presented me this brace, the
Yeah.
Guardian knee brace, several months ago. And at the time you sent it over to me, I was like, I'm not so crazy about braces because I've had the experiences with the braces and everything that I've seen come down the pipe over the past several decades hasn't really impressed me.
Right.
Yeah, it was like a definite no. I'm I'm very more of a uh, everything I do is based on principle, and in my program, I have a firm belief that the body has the capacity to heal itself. So
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in my own program,
Mhm.
and I stayed away from the stuff that people, the gimmicky stuff where people would buy and it's like, okay, this is the quick fix to get your knees out of pain, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I just stayed away from that because it was inauthentic for me. Didn't feel
Absolutely.
right. It wasn't lined up with what I believed in. And all of the stuff in my program was based on my own personal experience. I
Ab-
used myself as a guinea pig first. If I got good results, then it was like, okay, I could roll it out to the clients that I work with and have them test it even further and get more and more feedback.
Mhm.
And when you
Mhm.
presented me the brace, I told you right up, I'm skeptical.
Mhm.
It's like, I really don't want to look at a brace. And
Mhm.
then you encourage me. It's like, okay, there's something different about this brace. Take a look, see what you think.
Yeah.
And there are elements of this brace that address the issues that I was just talking about.
Mhm.
And one was the length of the brace. The brace is much shorter. Two was the position of the straps. So the straps on the brace hold the brace on the leg tighter, especially around the calf. They're positioned in a way that instead of it kind of being around the calf, there are two of them that hold it really tight to the calf. So it's
Mhm.
almost like you think of it like if you have your wrist here and I can't pull my fist out because of the position of the straps. It's the same way that the brace is being held around the calf. And then the third piece that was super important were these pneumatic air bladders.
Hmm.
that actually align the bones in the lower leg with the bones in the upper leg. The brace has the ability to help straighten the leg out, help straighten the gait out. So there were elements of it that with the pneumatic bladders, it further locks the brace on the leg so the brace doesn't slip down.
And those bladders, because they're again creating that, compression there, doesn't that also help to alleviate some of the pain just right out of the gate?
Yes, because what happens is it helps reestablish, and I'm going to throw out a big word here. It's called tensegrity structure. Tensegrity structure. It's the idea that the knee, as well as the rest of the body, is an interconnected series of pulleys and levers. And when the knee collapses because of pain, because of tension, it could be in the knee, it could be hips, lower back, it could be ankles and feet. When that tensegrity structure collapses, that causes the nerves to be squeezed and the joint to begin to dehydrate. So you have pain, stiffness, achiness, and then the wearing of the knee joint because of the lack of hydration. The water can't get in there. Then you're looking at arthritis,
Mm,
osteoarthritis.
mm, mm.
So the the brace, are we back?
Yep, it just went out for 1 second. We're back.
Okay, cool. Uh, so with these bladders, pneumatic bladders on either side, which holds the knee stable, it by compressing on either side of the knee, it begins to create space in the joint, which alleviates the pain in the knee, the stiffness in the knee, as well as further holding the brace on the leg in a way that doesn't slip.
Cool. Do you have a picture of it? I think it would be so neat to.
Um, I I have two things. I have pictures I could show of the brace. I could share my screen here.
It's so unusual in terms of its design. I think and like you said, having the ability to get somebody out of pain like right out of the gate just based on the way that it's designed, and then alleviating all those other issues that normally come up with knee braces in terms of the discomfort and the size and the weird marks that that they leave. Um, yeah, it's
Okay, I'm trying to get to the screen. My computer's running a little slow.
that's okay. Um, I think I think it's really just novel in terms of the actual, customization of it and how it was engineered.
Hmm.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So this is the brace can be worn under or on top of clothing, which is pretty cool. And depending on the size of the clothing. Obviously, this guy's pants are a little bit tighter, so he wouldn't be able to wear it underneath the pants.
Hmm.
However, he can wear it on top of the pants.
Hmm.
Um, these bladders, let's see,
Ah,
I could pull out the little drawing thing, but the bladders are right in here on the
yeah.
inside, on both the inside and the outside of the knee.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, yeah, I like how sleek and compact it is, and I know, like you said, when people are um, ordering one of these, like they take the custom measurements so that it really is tailored, to work specifically with their leg and how, um, the
Hmm.
size of their leg, and again, making sure that they're going to be in comfort when they put it on.
Yep.
Now, in addition to, alleviating pain, this particular knee brace does something really remarkable too, yes?
Yes. One of the components of it, let me get a picture of it. Okay, right here. I'm gonna get out my handy
So
dandy
high
20.
tech. I love it.
Okay. You see these bands right here that go down.
Yeah.
It hooks here and it goes back up, and there's another hook at the top off screen here
Uh-huh.
or outside of the picture. And these they're different tension bands that can go on the brace on either side of the knee. And what happens is because the knee brace is locked onto the knee and the leg is supported, the knee is supported with these bands on there, every time you bend and extend your leg, when you extend your leg, the bands are going to assist in the leg extension, which a lot of people struggle with. The full extension of the leg. These bands assist in the extension of the leg. And when you're walking, this is also giving resistance to the hamstring, which is when you go to physical therapy, that's what they're trying to strengthen is the hamstring.
Hmm.
So what happens is when you have this brace on,
Hmm.
you're actually doing physical therapy while you're walking. that
Why?
was that was like revolutionary. I was like, oh my gosh, what a brilliant idea that they've actually structured the brace in a way that will allow physical therapy, the natural walking. What you're supposed to be doing when you're not in physical therapy, they're combining it with physical therapy through the design of the brace. So
Hmm.
you're killing two birds with one stone in a way that you're doing the physical therapy and you're walking. Plus, the brace is getting the knee out of pain. When you properly fit the brace on your knee, the the pain relief is immediate. And
Amazing.
I could share a story if you'd like. Brian, the gentleman I was telling you about just a moment ago,
Hmm.
um, what he did when we were fitting him, and it took a minute to fit him because what we wanted to do was make sure the brace was fit exactly to what his knee needed.
Hmm.
And there was little tweaks and adjustments. The tension on the three straps going up the leg, making sure the strap on the front of the knee is right below the kneecap. That position, that very starting position, is going to be key for whether the brace stays up on the leg as well as where the leg is supposed to be supported. So that initial position is important. Then making sure you have the right tension on the straps. You get the right tension on the straps. And each time we're fitting the brace, Brian's getting up and doing a squat, walking around a little bit to see how it feels. And these initial parameters are what's going to stay with the brace the duration he's going to use the brace. But each time we did it, first we started with the straps, then we started with the tension bands, and then we got the pneumatic bladders playing around with pressure on the inside and the outside of the knee. Each time we did it, his knee felt better. It
Amazing.
he got
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love, love, love that again, we've found something that can help your clients get out of pain so quickly, but as you said, it provides them physical therapy every time, they're just going about their normal life while they're wearing it. And like you said, needed a little bit of support getting it, adjusted just right. And I think that this is the part that's so cool between what you do and your knee pain guru coaching programs, really teaching people what they need to do to actually, transform their knee and get back to, living life to their fullest. And now having this amazing tool that can get them out of pain quickly so that they can engage in all the
Mhm.
things that they need to do to really have that transformation. And of course, doesn't hurt that the knee brace is actually providing them physical therapy along the way. Like, what a bonus, right?
Right.
How novel. Um, this is so cool, and I love everything that you're offering here. If somebody's actually interested in, getting a knee brace, I know obviously they can go right to your website and get engaged with that, but what if they're listening going, but my situation's a little different and maybe, I believe, do you have the opportunity just to connect with them and, hear a little bit about their situation and see if it's appropriate for them?
Sure, absolutely. They could, if I could share my screen again,
Hmm.
I can head right over to my website, and there are a couple different options there. Oop, not that part of the website.
Technology is great when it works for us, right? Here we go.
Yeah. So the kneepainguru.com is my website, and they can go right here, actually put in your name and email address,
Mhm.
and they can schedule an appointment right from there.
Awesome.
Here's all the information right here at the top of the screen for Guardian knee brace. And then
Great.
on there, and it has all the information
Mhm.
on how to order.
Fabulous. And you have a special offer for all of your clients that are actually up for trying a knee brace, do you not?
I do. I do.
Tell
Um,
us about it.
Pardon?
I said, tell us about it.
Okay. Well, what I offer is for everybody that purchases a brace, they get 30 days free in my Knee Club membership, my Knee Club Premium membership. And that's where we meet once a week, and we're going to go over what do you have going on with your knee. And that is in a members area of my website right over here. And what I have is hundreds of videos that you don't need to do all of those. I'm pointing you to the specific videos that are going to make the biggest difference in your knees based on what you're telling me today, what you're sharing with me today. And we make those the homework that I give you adaptable. So you can do it while you're sitting in a car, you could do it while you're in a meeting, you can do it on a long plane trip, you can do it driving in a car. And it's not distracting, it's just recognizing positions of comfort in your knee as well as in the rest of your body
Mm.
that will teach your body how to heal itself faster. And that's the key. That's the whole point of the Guardian knee brace is we're lining it up so it actually relieves what's going on in the knee right now. Like you're not waiting weeks or months down the road. When you put the Guardian knee brace on correctly, you're getting relief right now. Same thing with my program. And the Guardian knee brace is a bridge that helps people get that relief they need, that they don't need to think about all of these other videos, that as they're walking and moving with the Guardian knee brace and their knee begins to improve, now they could put more time, energy, and effort into these pain pattern interrupts that I call them to relieve what's going on in their knee as well as in the rest of their body. It's like I was mentioning at the beginning, knee pain doesn't happen in a vacuum. It affects the entire body.
Right, right, right. And I love the fact that, people get to talk to you directly to you every
Mhm.
week. Every week. I love the amount of support that you give to your community and the specialized guidance that you get to give to each individual person because it isn't a cookie cutter. Everybody's got something slightly different going on. And to be able to say, you need, this
Mhm.
exercise, whereas Sally needs this one, and to be able to guide them through that process where they go, oh my gosh, that worked. Oh my gosh, I can see this changing. And oh my gosh, like, I love hearing it. So, oh my goodness. Well, this is exciting, and I'm so happy that, you decided to look at the brace, and I'm so glad that honestly, when I called you, I was like, this has to get the Bill Paravano like thumbs up or not. And I remember calling you saying, I know you might be philosophically opposed to this, but I think there's something really different. Can I just get your eyes on this? I was
Sure.
really calling just to make sure, like I was having you vet it, and I'm so glad that it's, met
Mhm.
met your standards and is something that, has really helped to bridge the gap with your community because I love the work that you do. I know that you get incredible results with your clients. And I love that you now have a tool to give them to get them out of pain immediately, start the process, and take them, all the way to the finish line so that they can get back to living their best lives ever. So
Yeah,
Cool. Bill, thank you so much. And yes, once again, if people are interested in having a conversation with you, they can go directly to your website, which is thekneepainguru.com. And at the top of the page is the Guardian Knee Brace, where they can just click that to find out more. And if they're ready, they can just go ahead and order it directly and get signed up with your free coaching offer to carry them forward. Yes?
that's correct.
Amazing. Bill, thanks so much again. We'll talk soon.